for jobs. I mean, we have a liberal Democrat in Washington, D.C. saying, no, you can't send Walmart away.
Well, do I think it's good for good paying jobs? The answer would be no. And I still have to, I think we have to reconcile where the mayor is. He supports minimum wage increases, yet he is vetoing a bill that would have lifted the minimum wage of Walmart employees coming in if Walmart came in. So I have a problem just with what he's saying and then what he's doing. And I don't think it's good for good paying jobs. I mean, $10 an hour it still keeps you at the poverty level. And I don't think a job paying that really is much incentive for employees. And I think we need to get that minimum wage up, which hasn't been raised in nearly 4 years.
John, isn't a job better than no job?
Yes, absolutely. And this has nothing to do with the minimum wage. Understand, they're talking about raising it $12.50 an hour only at big box stores like Walmart, like Home Depot. What they're saying is if you are a successful store like Walmart, and by the way, in a city that has a huge high poverty rate, much higher than the nation's average, Walmart has lowered food inflation by a full percentage point after they got into groceries. This helps the poor. And they're talking about making Walmart pay 50% more than the other retail stores in the area. So you're not talking about raising the minimum wage for anybody except for Walmart. This is a populist message. It's a very popular message among some groups to go after big business because, after all, they must be evil. They're going to create thousands of jobs in D.C., get them low-priced groceries. This is a complete win for D.C. These people who are against it should be ashamed of themselves.
But, Jonas, you're not quite sure this is a win for the economy?
No, I think it worked. Look, I don't think a city or a region can pull off a $12.50 minimum wage because the jobs won't come there, and it will look bad, and then no one will pass a minimum wage rule. But California just passed a $10 minimum wage law, and it'll work better than it will work in a city because it's a whole state. And there are some benefits. Look, I took a lot of economic classes, and you can prove that you raise the cost of labor, demand for labor is going to go down. You're going to get higher unemployment. It's just mathematically sound. What it doesn't capture is what I call revolution insurance, which is what you're really offering with minimum wage. If you don't have a minimum wage, you're going to have a maximum wage, essentially. What's going to happen is people are going to get mad, they're going to revolt, they're going to raise upper tax brackets like they already did because minimum wages haven't been going up in recent years. And that's what happens if you just don't deal with the issue. You give them a little, you pay them an above market rate than what the free market would clear, and then all of a sudden it's okay to make $10 million as well. And I think that's a good trade-off that will keep capitalism healthier, even though, yeah, you might have higher
But guys, this isn't about minimum wage. Understand. This
fair wages, John, it's about fair wages.
It's about punitive wage only against Walmart.
Hold on. Let me get Gary B. in there. I know you've been waiting to jump in.
Well, I want to step back and take a look at the big picture. You know, this Walmart is planning to come into, John said there's a lot of poverty in D.C. The store is going to go into one of the most impoverished areas in D.C. And it's not just Walmart. When Walmart comes in, it's not knocking out the mom and pop grocer and the beauty salon, because those things don't exist where this is coming into Anacostia. There's nothing there. So it's going to bring coffee shops, it's going to bring ancillary things, florists, all the things that pop up, because workers are not going to live 100 miles away. They're going to, live in that area, and they're going to spend money, and there's going to be restaurants. So it's developing a whole area. If they hadn't gone, if they were forced to go to the $12.50, here's what you would have had in that Anacostia area. Nothing. You would have had the same lousy living environment for everyone there, and it would have been horrible. Now you have jobs. You have a chance for a community to spring up. This is a good deal.
Okay, that's got to be the last word. Thanks. Got milk. How about can you afford milk? Congress still hasn't passed a new farm bill, and now some dairy farmers warn if lawmakers don't pass it soon, we could be paying $6 for a gallon soon. John, what's all this about?
This is something that's stuck in the food stamp bill as well, so you got to pass the whole thing together. This is probably going to be split out. What this is based on is a 1940 measurement about how you produce milk, basically by hand. I don't know if people know that. I grew up on a dairy in Sweetwater, Texas, working on a dairy. They use machines now. And if you use the antiquated measure, that means that you'd have to subsidize prices around $6 to $8 a gallon. If this actually goes through, milk prices jump immediately to $6 to $8 a gallon. Honey prices actually jump 40% also. I think that these politicians, they know how far they can go. They know they can screw up. And if they raise milk prices this high, they get thrown out of office. I think they come together and they probably get something passed by spinning this part out of that bill.
Because, Tracy, I mean, we've got kids. I'm not paying $6 a gallon.
No way. I mean, I'll find calcium and other stuff. My kids are going to have to fall in love with spinach somehow or something. I don't know. But the problem is Congress has, what, like 9 working days to the end of the month to get this done. They have a docket full of stuff. The Farm Bill is so far down, unfortunately. So, like everything else, I have a feeling last minute everything's going to get passed and pushed on and everything's going to be okay. But it will certainly be a nail-biter up until then.
Gary B., you buy this?
No, I don't. This is a side where everyone's wrong in this case. Another great example of government getting involved, as John said. The USDA comes in and buys all this extra product to keep demand up, and then yet they subsidize it with all these cash surpluses. I mean, to drive the price back down. It's absolutely idiotic. The dairies on the other side, they're just as guilty. This is basically a cartel designed. They're no better than the labor unions. The government says you can't even import more than 5% dairy products like dried milk and butter and cheese, for crying out loud. Keep a price high. I say get rid of the government, get rid of the price supports, all this. You're going to get $6 a gallon, and it'll come back down because no one will buy the milk.
That would solve everything. Okay, David, you think we're going to see milk at those prices?
I don't think we'll see it, and I think the threat of it will get finally the Republican House of Representatives to pass a farm bill that also, in addition to subsidizing farmers, also provides for the food stamps that are a lifeline for many people, working people, I might add, and that you need to do it together as it's been done for decades, and that we should not be governing by crisis. They should have done this 2 or 3 months ago. They didn't, but now with the threat that we're discussing here, I think you'll see them pass a coupled farm bill.
David, I don't know if you noticed, but the Democrats and Republicans just took 5 weeks off while Syria was following all this stuff. They actually could have gotten something done.
Right, and we have a debt ceiling that we have to talk about. We have a budget to pass, and I think you'll see that getting done as well.
It was a great time for a vacation.
You have to.
Okay, hold on. I got to get Jonas in here. Go ahead, Jonas. Tell us what you think.
There's a lot of moving parts. Demand for food will also go down because food stamps will get cut, and that's the extra dairy demand. So it's hard to say the prices are going to go up because this will look. But if you get the government, broadly speaking, out of food, prices are going to go up. We've had subsidized food here for a long time. That's why people are getting obese. It's not because food's so expensive. You just said the food price should be $6 for milk. If you do inflation adjusting from 1949, when the last act was, it isn't because of chemicals they put in the food, productivity improvements, antibiotics. You buy milk without those things, it costs $6 a gallon right now. So get the government out. Food prices are going to rise. They're subsidizing insurance to farmers. I mean, that's obviously lowering our prices.
Okay, got to be the last word. Thanks so much. And thanks to David for joining us. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you.